So CNN interviewed journalist Taylor Lorenz about the reason why so many young women in this country love Luigi Mangione, the young man who shot United Healthcare Group CEO Brian Thompson. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about CNN interviewing Taylor Lorenz about Luigi Mangione and why so many young women in this country love him. Now, you may or may not know who Taylor Lorenz is. Long story short, she has a big history on the internet, a lot of controversy, but she's ultimately a heavily left-leaning journalist. Now, what she said in this interview, in this snippet, was pretty accurate. It was pretty on point, and we're going to get into it. But first things first, if you don't remember Luigi Mangione, if you don't remember the story, that's him right there in the orange jumpsuit. So a few months ago, he decided to shoot and unfortunately take the life of United Healthcare Group CEO Brian Thompson right there in Manhattan. It was a whole big manhunt. They eventually found him at a McDonald's or something, just eating a sandwich, like inside the store, I think in Pennsylvania somewhere. Now, when they revealed his picture and I saw him with the shirt off and all this, I was like, I already knew what was going to happen. There's going to be a lot of women who were infatuated with him. And I've seen some kind of conservative women talk about him in a positive way, a lot of liberal women. And aside from the women, some people think that he is a good man because he did a quote unquote good thing. Now, I don't consider it to be a good thing at all. But before I get into my personal opinion about it, let's get to the actual clip here from Taylor Lorenz. I will link to this in the box if you want to read it, see it, whatever, on your own. If you're on IG, visit the link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Hilarious to see these millionaire media pundits on TV clutching their pearls about someone standing a murderer when this is the United States of America, as if we don't lionize criminals, as if we don't have, we don't stand murderers of all sorts, and we give them Netflix shows.
Let's pause for a minute. Now, what she's saying so far is not wrong, because you see, what's that? The Menendez brothers, Dahmer, and it's weird because these guys, these people who have committed heinous acts, have fan followings, and some of these guys, when they get locked up, they'll get fan mail. I'm sure Mangione is getting a ton of fan mail, a ton of it, from people. And the question is, why? What is the allure? What is the reason why so many people are infatuated with these criminals?
There's a huge disconnect between the narratives and the angles that sort of mainstream media pushes and what the American public feels. And you see that in moments like this. And I can tell you, I saw the biggest audience growth that I've ever seen, because people were like, oh, some journalist is actually speaking to the anger that we feel.
The women who gather outside court in New York.
So you're going to see.
Let's pause for a minute. So the anger that we feel, what's the anger? The anger toward the healthcare industry. I'll talk about that a little bit later. I think having anger toward the healthcare industry is misplaced, but we'll continue.
Women especially that feel like, oh my God, right? Like, here's this man who's revolutionary, who's famous, who's handsome, who's young, who's smart. He's a person that seems this morally good man, which is hard to find.
Now look, okay, let's go back right here. Now some are going to say, well, is she speaking from her own heart? Maybe she is. Maybe she's not. Maybe she's just speaking to what the women are saying. Now here's something else. As far as this whole morally right thing, why is a guy like that morally right? If you think that shooting somebody in the middle of the street because of your opinions about the healthcare industry in this country is morally right, then you are morally bankrupt, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, I just realized women will literally date an assassin before they swipe right on me. That's where we are. I'm sure you wouldn't like to be compared to a Trump supporter, but some of how people cannot understand why people have sympathies for Mangione strikes me as the same as a lot of media not understanding why people support Trump.
That is a stretch if I ever heard one. Bro, that is a crazy stretch. You're talking about a guy who committed a crime And it's like he did it right there. You talking? It's not even like, okay, I was defending myself. Nah, you just shot this man because you're upset with money. You're upset with the system in America. You shot somebody that had nothing to do with it. It's like going into McDonald's and crashing out on the cashier because ain't no more chicken nuggets. You think the cashier has something to do with that? All she's going to do is show up, clock in, do her job. Okay, but you want a number 5 with an extra large coat? Okay, that'd be $25.98. Drive to window number 1. That's it. That's all they're going to do. All the extra behind the scenes stuff, they're not involved with. Do you think that this CEO, who pretty was basically an employee, this ain't like Zuckerberg or Bezos, where they're the executive and the founder of the company. He's just an employee the same way you're an employee, the same way that all of us have been or are employees. So why is he the target for any kind of crime? It doesn't make any sense. Now, on the other hand, Trump speaks to American people and speaks to what they actually want, which is the purpose of our elected officials. That's what they're supposed to do. And too many of them don't do anything. So it's like, what's the point in us voting for these people? They're not going to do their job. That's all that is. So it's much different.
I totally agree.
It's because a lot of people are just really, really desperate.
They want somebody to take on the system. They want somebody to tear down these barbaric establishment institutions.
Okay, so barbaric establishment institutions. So Taylor Lorenz, he thinks that you might be sympathetic toward Luigi Mangione as well. There's a lot I want to say here. There's a whole lot I want to say. And again, that is CNN. I'll link to that in the box if you want to see it and hear it without my commentary. But there's so much I want to say. Okay, if you are relying upon the healthcare industry to take care of you, you are doing the wrong thing. That's not their job. Their job is to be there when you have some kind of catastrophic thing and you pay for that service. That's all. Now, if your claim was denied or whatever the case may be, that's something different. But again, you can't rely upon the government. You can't rely upon corporations to take care of you. How many of y'all who think that these institutions to take care of you also don't live well? Let's talk about that. How about some personal accountability here? Just a little bit. I'm not saying that someone being sick is always 100% of the time their fault. But if you are 800 pounds in the bed, that's your fault. ABL, I got a thyroid. Stop. Thyroid doesn't make you eat 20,000 calories in a day, every day for 45 years. Okay? It doesn't make you just shake all the salt in the salt shaker on one piece of toast or a piece of steak. Like, it doesn't make you do that. You did that to yourself. It didn't make you put the crack pipe to your mouth and smoke it. Okay? It just didn't do that. You got to have better personal habits so you're not relying upon the healthcare industry. Personally, I practice what I preach. I'm basically a monk. I eat the same thing every day for the most part. Salmon and rice, brown rice. Yes. Oh, it's too expensive. No, it's not. People just, they get what they want to get. They have no problem getting a brand new iPhone every year for $1,300, $1,500 or whatever. They have no problem going to get the brand new Jordans. I done seen that. I done seen guys wearing a fresh pair of Jordans in the grocery store, counting out change to get a Black and Mild or a blunt so they can smoke their weed. Meanwhile, maybe if you didn't have the Jordans, maybe if you didn't spend your money on frivolous things, you'd be able to eat a more balanced diet and you would have better overall just being. You would have better well-being and you wouldn't be relying upon the healthcare industry to take care of you. Because if you're relying upon them, you're at their mercy. You might have a claim denied, or they might approve your claim, send you to the hospital, and then they put you on drugs, have you even worse. Now you're a dope fiend. So my advice to anybody is don't look at Luigi Mangione as a hero doing something for you. All he did was just lash out in anger. It's misplaced anger. Your anger should not be with an employee, with an executive of a company. They're just doing their job the same way you're doing your job. Crashing out on him is, again, the equivalent to crashing out on the McDonald's employee when there's no more chicken nuggets. It's not their fault. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your opinion about what Taylor Lorenz said about so many people saying, hey, I'm glad someone is speaking to my heart about this system being so corrupt. It's so barbaric. It's oppressive upon us. So what Luigi Mangione did is acceptable because he expressed my frustration on somebody. Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. To praise Mangione is crazy. I understand why some are doing it, and I think they're just misguided. I think their anger is in the wrong direction. Their anger should not be with employees of a company or the company itself. The anger should be with really the government for not educating their people properly and also allowing certain things to happen, allowing Big Pharma to come into the country and do whatever they want to do. Okay, the vaccinations, the forced vaccinations, things like that. That's the problem. That's the problem. And even in that instance, I wouldn't say go out there and hurt somebody. You have the power to change that with your vote. You have the power to change that through civil means. And the most important thing I would say as I close for real is you got to take care of yourself. Nobody will be your own best advocate more than you. Take care of yourself. Don't rely upon anybody else to do anything for you and your physical body, because you only get one life to live. You only get one body. So you got to treat it well. Treat it like the most precious thing on earth, because in reality, it is. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.